Alright, hey, what's up, YouTube? Welcome to Play It Painted Live. Hope you're having a fantastic Sunday evening. Is it Sunday? Yeah, it's Sunday evening. Holy crap. Yeah, here we go with another one of these. And tonight we're going to be painting something very special, actually. It's a model it's a gill ball model, so that's already awesome. But it's a gill ball model that is very hard to come by. Alright, so for those of you who are familiar with the organized play kit, there are common models, there's a rare model, and there's a very rare model. Tonight, we're going to paint a very rare model, okay? And so this model is called Windfinder from the Navigators Guild. And as you can see, all right, we're all done. Thanks everyone for watching. I'm just kidding. Just kidding. You can see that she's got all of her major colors and all of that good stuff blocked off. But tonight, we're going to add a little bit of flair. Because this is a special model, we're going to be playing around with oil painting, okay? Specifically, we're going to play around with the MIG oil brushers. And we're just going to use MIG oil brushers to kind of play with this model a little bit and to, hopefully do some cool highlights on her and just get you guys familiar with the MIG airbrushers product. All right, so hold on one sec. Let's see if I can Comic Quest Miniatures clip, and let's see if anybody is okay. It looks like, well, I don't know. I'm not sure. Let's see. All right, I'm gonna just look at some members here. No. Okay. Alright. Well, never mind. Doesn't look like there's much going on there, so we'll close that. But yeah, we're gonna, and I've got to, what's that doing there? That's weird. That's weird there. I am going to refresh my chat, so if you are in the chat, feel free to say hello. You can also hop into the voice section of Discord if you are on Discord. Okay. Well, first, we're going to, like I said, we're going to do some oil brushers. Okay. So, you said.
Can I say something?
Sure.
So also, I am down here tonight. The computer just broke. I don't know why. Well, it broke a while ago. Something bad happened with it. Not really.
Did it freeze?
No. Like, remember how we couldn't fix it?
Like,
we couldn't fix it for a while, but it all worked out. And now we have this game. It's called. We have a video game. It's called Feeding Grow Fish. It's where you eat other
yes.
programs.
That's true.
And
hello, excellent portrait.
Change what you are. And I'm gonna be playing that in the background.
Okay.
And remember that if you ever hear some throat clear or cough, know that okay. I do not have coronavirus.
Thank you, son. All right. So, all right. So we're gonna just show you kind of the basics of this product here, the MIG oil brushers, and we're gonna start off with something easy, kind of broad. So, as you can see, I moved her to this Malifaux base, and the Malifaux base it's a sunken base. So what you could do, if you could see, I've got kind of a fake water effect going on in there. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to mix some colors in here, and we're going to use a few different oil brushers to mix colors, and we're going to mix this live on the base. Okay, so I'm going to start off here with a little bit of turquoise, and I'm just going to dot turquoise right kind of along the back edge of the model. Okay, that's about all I need. That's actually quite a bit. And then I'm going to, then we're going to use a different color here. I'm going to use this dark blue. So you shake these up pretty well when you use them. And I actually have a lot, so again, just some spots there, dark blue. Okay. All right. And then finally, the third color here, we're going to use this. We're going to use this color here, Mecha Light Green. Okay, so we're going to have a pretty crazy color transition in the water, but that's okay. That's kind of, so we're just playing with these oil brushers, and they are very, very fun to play with. So I'm going to put a couple spots there, here, and here. The main rule with oils is that there are no rules for oils. I know that's literally, that is the truth. There are no rules for oils. You just put them down and then they do their thing. I know it's very hard to tell, but I did do some oils on her face here, but we're gonna do a little bit more. Okay, so I'm actually gonna mix a couple of these oil brushes, and I'm gonna mix them on my palette. Okay, so that you can see. So I'm gonna put some in here. All right, so we're gonna start off with some Sunny Flesh, and just a little spot of that, right? Spot of Sunny Flesh there. Then we're gonna do, I want this to be a wash, okay? So then we're gonna do Wild Wild West with oils, that's right. So then we're gonna do some red. Okay, a spot of red. Okay, and then we're gonna tone this down ever so slightly. And we're gonna do this color here, which is called dirt or something. Starship Filth. Why not? Why not, folks? Going crazy. And just a little spot of that. Okay. So now we're going to take some thinner, and this is where the magic begins, guys. So we're going to take some thinner here. We're going to add thinner to this, and really kind of, you can see that the color that it's making there, super thin, right? Look at that, right? So then we're going to dab most of that off with the brush, but you can see that makes a really nice little kind of a flesh shade. And we're just going to apply it. Right, I want to get some good tones. On the skin. So I'm going to apply that there. Right, especially here. Whoa, that was very thin. But you can see how that's going down. Actually, quite a nice tone that makes. I mean, she is out in the sun all the time, so it's not like, even though Siren is on the same team, Siren is going to be very pale compared to Windfinder. So we're gonna just kind of apply that all over. All right, and kind of like almost like a traditional acrylic wash. We're gonna put that down. Okay. I'm so prone to just put the brush in my rinse water, like my actual rinse water, but I can't do that, guys. We are messing with oils tonight. All right, so I'm gonna put that down. And now with just a little bit, and I mean just a little bit of thinner on my brush here, we're gonna start to blend the stuff on the base, okay? Right, because I want to have a lot of kind of a nice color variation. Now I understand that I'm only dealing with really a couple centimeters worth of real estate here. But I really want these colors to be to blend together and look real smooth. And you can really play with your oils. This is where things get really fun, right? So you can see I'm getting a really nice little gradient out of that. And you can see where I put the texture down. You can kind of figure out what I'm going to do next with that. Okay. Right, so instead of her going down on that regular resin base, which I hated, the centimeters counts in my leaves. Yes, centimeters. All right. So you can see how nicely things start to blend when you're playing around with oils. And we just start. So hey, what's up, Sean? Let's work some more of that blue in. Oh, it's so nice. But yeah, I would start when you first start playing around with oils. Take bigger areas like this, and play around with them first. Get used to the consistency of the oils. Get used to moving the product around. You can see I've moved most of it around the whole base there. And I want a little bit more. I'm deciding if I want it to be a little bit more blue. I don't know if I do. Maybe a little bit more. Maybe a little bit more, right? So I'm just going to do a couple of spots. It's going to be deep back here and here. Right? All right, and I'm using a synthetic brush to do this. I'm not using one of my regular Kolinsky sable brushes to do this. I want to blend that blue in a little bit more, right? Okay. You can just see how really nicely the blues, how that all blends. Right now I've changed kind of the tone a little bit more. All right. A little bit more blue. Let's actually, I just want a little touch. I want a little touch out here. Oh, that's the wrong color. Oops. Hold on. And I'm going to show you guys a different example using a different model real quick, okay? You're tired from work? That sucks, dude. I'll take a load off, man. So I'm just going to put another splotch there and another splotch here and here. Okay. I'm gonna give those a minute to set up. Okay. And let's clean off my brush. So I have two little puddles of thinner. One's kind of the dirty puddle, one's kind of the clean puddle. Do that. And then let that wash. Okay. See, the wash is giving us a kind of a cool dynamic. It's giving the skin color a cool dynamic color, right? And now let's do another little splotch, and I mean a tiny little splotch of Sunny Flesh. Now, if I were to actually put that splotch on the model, it would be too much paint. We only need a really, really tiny amount of paint here. So you can see I'm just putting a little bit there. A little bit on my palette. Okay. And then I'm going to give myself just a tiny little smidge of some thinner. Right. Get a good color out of that. Right. Dab some of it off on my paper towel. And then very carefully just kind of work it into there. Now I'm starting to get some after work painting for me turns into YouTube and sleep. It's a bummer you guys had to work today. I don't know if you consider this work, but this morning I had to disassemble a crib. So we got to give away a crib in the morning. That was cool. And then I had some errands to do. And then I got to play some Aristea, which was cool. So I can't really complain, guys. Like I've had a reasonably good Sunday here. Okay. So you can see I'm applying this almost like a regular acrylic paint where I've got a highlight, like I really do have a highlight there where I want it to be. Right, and then I'm going to blend it in. That's very usually my mind has so many ideas for my models. In a way, yeah. To feed all my geckos. And then, basic stuff, doing cat boxes. Then I fixed my son's computer, which he was exclaiming about earlier. So we fixed his computer tonight, and he wanted to play this game called Feed and Grow Fish for his birthday. So I bought him some Feed and Grow Fish. Played King of the Hill again, Sean. And I played, this time I played, I think it was like the same crew. It was Dart, Prism, Parvati, and Valkyrie. And I was going up against Chris, and Chris fielded Tawu. He fielded Tawu, Father McBurney Man, that whatever that guy's name is, I forget his name. And he also fielded Shona Karana, and what else did he have? Shona Karana, Tawu. Oops. Starting to draw a blank here. What's this other model? I don't remember. Tawu. There was another. Oh, Eclipse. Yeah. He fielded Eclipse. Yeah, and it was King of the Hill. And Chris is in chat. So, yeah. Father Bernie McBurnface was horrible, as usual. Was horrifying to deal with. And he really kind of... He was probably... I would have considered him MVP for the match. He really did. Like, I did okay early on, but there were, being unable to kill that guy in the middle of the board and have him just drop burning on everybody and just watch my guys all die or basically kill themselves after the activating with all that burning on them. That's just brutal. So, I mean, that really is a great scenario for Father McBurnface. So, yeah. Anyways, okay. So, I know it doesn't really look like I've done much, guys. Really on the color wise, but we're getting there. Okay. Next up, I want to put a tiny little bit of white down. Yeah, Padre McBurney Man. No. I do not like Padre McBurney Man. 0 out of 10. Do not use. Yeah, he's amazing. That's all I'm gonna say about it. He's amazing. That jerkhead. Oh man, what's going on with this oil paint? I don't have to use oil paint for this part, but we're going to because this is a special. We're doing special model things, so we're gonna use a little bit of white here. Ugh, there we go. All right. Any game that requires you not move, he shines. It's true. I thought I had him dead. I had a couple of... I mean, I was able to get a couple of nice clean shots at him, and the dice did not go in my favor. And a lot of that, too, was the fact that Tawu was there. That tax on tactics really, it meant that all of those critical shots that I needed were not going to happen. And then, early on, I wanted to get a nice big pile of tactics and hit no. So, yeah. So, anyways, bottom line, Father McBurnface is a dick. You should never use him. Anyways. All right. So, it's so weird painting with oils, right? I'm just going to put little splotches of white. Obviously, this is where I want and then we're gonna blend all that in, right? Let's put some white down. Okay. All right. All right. And now let's do some fun stuff on her turquoise. So the turquoise is a latex, right? I'm just using what was I using? I was using this Game Color turquoise. Okay, and we're using it as the base color, but I'm gonna then use these two colors, these two oil brushers, to do shade and highlight. Okay. So I'm actually gonna do this on, because like I said, when you're painting a model this small, you probably shouldn't go directly on the model. You don't need to. I'm just gonna go like that. Okay. So there's the darker, there's the shade color. Here's the highlight color, right? And now you could actually, like classic oil painting, I could blend one side of that palette to the other side, but I'm actually going to do that on the model. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take just a tiny little bit of thinner, work that in here, and now we're just going to do, I'm gonna highlight, I'm gonna basically paint it in, right? I'm gonna paint in those crevices that I want to hit. Right, so it's gonna go in there, it's gonna go in there. Yeah, it was a cool game of Arstea, but there was definitely, the back half of that game was really where Padre really just started to take over. And then one thing I've noticed about King of the Hill is that, the once a player can get all four of their players in there and establish dominance, like you were able to do that at the same time that you wiped out my whole team. And at that point, it's just too late to recover. Could not get in there and affect the rest of that scenario. Hey, Congo, how's it going, dude? All right, so there's that. So we're just playing around with these oil brushers. Okay, so I got some good oil brusher stuff in here. I'm gonna put some in there. Honestly, you're probably not even gonna be able to tell that I've used oils on this, because it's such a small model. It's gonna be very hard to see if if these actually blend as perfectly as oils tend to. The problem though is that at this scale, you don't really need things to blend in this like perfect gradient. Okay. All right, so there's the shade part down. Let's keep putting in shade down here. All right, I'm just going for the lower points. Okay. I'll show you another model where it actually counts. It's going to be like this type of work right here. You see that? That type of work you really do. Let's do a little bit of this so you can see, right? So just paint in the shade there, right? Again, acrylic base coat. And you're painting this shade here. But you'll notice, right, this can be, if you were just doing acrylics, this could be very hard to blend and make it look nice and smooth. This is a Guild Ball model. What's up, Cameron? Right, so this is the alternate siren. I'm just gonna do this real quick so you guys can kind of see the concept here, right? And oil brushers are just so great at this. Okay, so there's that. The other thing cool about oils is you don't actually need things to be terribly clean. Right? So I'll paint a little splotch up top. Right? That's probably a little too much paint. Paint here. So now I'm applying this like a highlight. Let's paint some splotchies in for highlight. Right, and this part of the process, you could be You can be very messy. It's okay. This is an acrylic painting, guys. You're allowed to be messy. We're gonna make this look all nice and beautiful at the end. Okay? Ooh. Except my brush is starting. Okay. Alright. So let that set up, because that's part of this too. You want this to set up a little bit. The longer you let the oil set up, the more that color is going to affect that area. So a little here, there, put a little here, a little here, a little on her, a little splotch on her headband there. Got the last gill ball I get a few weeks ago, unless I find a pin vice box cheap. Nice. Do you want a metal engineers team that's painted ready to go? We'll sell. All right. Okay. So you can see what I'm doing here. Kind of putting those down where I want them to go. Right, where I want the major highlights to go. Okay. All right. So now, clean off the brush proper. And now we can start this blend. All right. It's so subtle on a model this size. Like you can't. But you see how that just blended. That was just like bam. Getting rid of my gill ball. I'm getting rid of some of it. I'm getting rid of some of the teams and stuff that I don't need anymore. Like I have right now, I have a metal alchemist and a metal engineers team that have to go. Okay, I don't even know if you guys can pick that up on camera. I don't know if you can, but it is very subtle. That blend is very subtle. So fashion. It's like magic. You just paint it. Yeah, you just sort of. You just let the oil be the oil. I can't really explain it other than that's all you're really doing. And it looks so perfectly blended. Right? Watch here. So there's that light spot. I'm going to start blending that light spot in with the dark spot here. Oop, actually ran out of thinner there. You don't want too much thinner. That's the part that you kind of need practice when you're learning oils, is you gotta learn how much thinner you want, the consistency of the paint and the amount. What I like about oil brushers is oil brushers make sure that you don't use too much. So it's really nice kind of intro to the technique. Because you're literally just put a little splotch down, and then you roll with it, right? And so like acrylic painting would be, oh, paint in this super hard line right there, right? Oh man, what a mess. I screwed up. Well, oil painting is go ahead and put it down and we'll fix it later, right? That's what's so cool about oil painting. Put this down, right? Like, oh my gosh, you screwed it up. It'll never work now. You can see just with a little bit of thinner, it's a really nice little effect there. Okay, and like I said, a little bit of thinner, wipe off a bunch of it, like wipe off a lot of your thinner. You honestly just want a damp brush, like that damp, just like almost like you were actually just trying to get rid of it, and you can do that. It's like magic. It's like cheating. That's so cool. And you could just keep building it up if you want. Stuff will take days to dry. It'll take a day at least for this to dry, so. Right? So let me blend this out. What? Problem is, are people going to be like, whoa, that's so crazy. Did you use oils? No, not in this case. It's too small. You can't tell the grand artistry that went into this. But it's so nice. It's just like you put it down, you put the paint down like you're an idiot, and then you just blend it all out. That's all you're doing. Okay. And see that big ol', see how there's just a big ol' splotch there? You can totally blend that in too. Okay, cool. Anyone have any questions or anything on the oil brushers? Fantastic product. One of my favorite things right now. Play around with oil brushers and just have a little fun. Let's do a little highlighting on the treasure chest and that kind of stuff. Why not, guys? Why not? First, let's get some more of this splotchy foam, right? Let's do some splotchy sea foam here. It feels so Bob Ross when you do this stuff. And I know I'm just painting a flat little base here with 4 different blues, but come on, just give me this. Give me this fantasy. Let me enjoy this. Because it's cool. Alright. Yeah. This is I'll show you what this is, Cameron. 1 second. Because people keep asking me about this. And it's super fun. And I feel like this is if you're gonna do oil painting, this is your gateway to oil painting. Okay, so this product is called Oil Brusher by MIG. Okay, and it comes in these these are almost like mascara type containers. And what these are is it's literally an oil paint that has been thinned to the consistency of. Not sure I would try that on Arena Rex. Yeah, you could use they have really nice skin tones for Arena Rex. And I'll do a little bit more work on Windfinder's skin with them. Right, so. Oh, you can hear my son clearing his throat in the background. Okay, so anyways, so what this is it's oil paint that has been thinned specifically for miniature painting. Okay, and it comes in this little bottle here, and you can see it comes with an applicator. All right, so you get this little applicator here, and what this allows you to do is this allows you to apply what they consider the correct amount of your oil paint to the product. The problem is they're really designed for much larger models, so this isn't the absolute best application, but it's okay. I mean, it kind of works. And I'm just using it to have fun here, right? That's all that matters. I'm gonna put a little bit. I'll do a little highlight here on the navigator wheel. Okay, almost like a dry brush there with the oils. Okay, but yeah, what it allows you to do is it allows you to do oil painting on a much smaller scale. Now I also have I'm also using just regular oils. There's ABT 502 has oil. They now have oils that are specifically for miniature painting, so we can play around with those. You also have MIG thinner. So they have this whole line of these oil paints that are super fun to use. Right? So I am going to. So we're going to use that color there, that yellow bone, to basically affect the highlight. Okay, I don't really need to blend this. I actually could just use a regular paint, but we're playing. Oh, one other thing to point out about this is on the inside of this bottle, there's a little, basically it's a little funnel with teeth on it that are pointed downwards like this. And so as you pull the brush up, it cleans all of the excess stuff that's on the side of the brush, and it just leaves you with the right, what they say is the right amount of paint. This one's not working so well, but there you go. See? And it just leaves you with the right amount of paint. Sort of. That's what they say. All right. So I'm going to show you my palette here. We're going to mess around with this a little bit. Okay? So we're going to work on the treasure chest and the gold. I'm going to put a bunch of this down on one side like that. See, if I was using just a regular oil, I'd have a big old, right, a fat puddle of that. Okay. All right. So I'm going to put that color on that side. Then I'm going to get my Starship Filth. Starship Filth on this side. And you can see I'm just going to put a big old blotch of it right there. This needs to be shaken up a little bit more. All right. If you're learning something, hit that like. Just kidding. Just kidding. All right. There. Okay. So I've got that color and that color. Then I'm going to take my brush. I'm going to use a teeny tiny little bit of thinner. Not much. Just a teeny tiny little bit of thinner. And I'm going to brush this color into this color, right? And we're going to make a little transition there in between those two colors. Okay, cool. And now you have like a brown gray color that you can use. In this case, I'm really more interested in the highlight than I am the shade. So I'm actually going to use mostly that that yellow bone. Okay, and I'm gonna put this down here, and it's gonna go down a little ham-fisted at first, right? It's gonna go down a little ham-fisted, so I'm gonna do that. Put that there, a little here, and then let's do a little one here, right? I wanna get a little highlight on the gold areas without being, you know, without being too, what's the word I'm looking for, too conspicuous with it. But yeah. So right now I'm treating this just like a regular old highlight. Okay. Alright. There we go. And direct it through the thinner here. Now let's go in with that Starship Filth. Actually, I actually want a little more red because this is gold. So let's put a little bit of red down. Right. Let's get a little bit of red mixed in here. So red mixed into the Starship Filth. There we go. So this is actually be a nice little, I want that to be a little shade color for the gold. And you can, right? And you can also turn this into a wash if you prefer to. So you could just keep adding thinner to it until it just becomes like a wash. But let's put that in. It's just fun to play with oils because it's like it just feels like you're just in like permanent screw around mode. Like, oh, okay, stuff's gonna stay open for a very long time. Right, I can do the coins down here too. All right. Okay. So, like I said, not the best subject model for oil painting. This model here, awesome for oil painting because you've got the cloak and you've got all these areas that you can blend and play around with. But not so much this model. Not quite as interesting. But you still have, I don't know. I mean, you still have areas that you could play around with. She's still kind of cool. All right. So now all I got to do is again. Now we do the magic step. The magic step, which is just a tiny, and I mean tiny, bit of thinner on your brush. Tiny bit of thinner on your brush. That's all you need. And you can blend that. Just blend it out. All right, see how everything just sort of softens up? You can take oil off if you want. Like if I really don't like this, I could take all of this color off. But I like it. So we're gonna keep it in. It's doing a good job calling out the detail here. So we leave it in. Yeah, I'm pretty happy with this. It's going well. It's going where I want this to go. Okay. I'm adding just the tiny little bits of white to this. Okay. Yeah. So you can see I've got good shading, good little detail. It's kind of like, like a classically painted model, except the transitions are really super, super smooth on it, right? It's just a shame, like, you got these crazy good transitions on it, but it's not, I don't know, it's not big enough to really be eye-popping, right? If you did this on a much larger model, you can get the kinds of like blending and effects and stuff that's typically only looks like, like somebody had airbrushed it. And we don't have that here, but any questions or anything, guys? While we're messing around with this? Gosh, I'm not sure exactly where to go here. I was playing around with this potential system that you could, or this thought really, that you could, if you got really good with working with oils, that you could actually develop a little system where you start off with uh, contrast paint as a base coat, and then you use oils to blend and do your final blending and highlights. Pretty good. I'm pretty down with that. Looking pretty good. What do you guys think? I think that's looking pretty good, man. And she definitely has, in my opinion, she definitely has more interest than she used to at the start of this, right? To me, she looks a lot more interesting. Okay. Now we gotta switch gears. This is the part that's actually gonna take long. All right. Let's see if I still have it. All right. This product right here, Vallejo Still Water. Okay. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna build the still water in this concave portion of the base, and you have to. You have to go super thin when you're working with this. Okay. Hold on. If I can even get this open anymore. There we go. It's very old. This product I do not use much these days, but you know. So this product kind of has a self-leveling property to it. I'm just going to put it down. Just going to put the first layer down. And this takes a long time for this to dry. So you literally put that product down. It will dry clear. You just tell yourself that. So you don't freak out. It will dry clear. Alright. So we're gonna let that sit and dry. Okay, this product dries super duper clear. Oops. Oh. All right. Any questions or anything? While I still got you guys. It was just so fun painting with some oil paints. I think. Oh, I can do. I mean, I could do the same on Angel here. What she actually needs is she needs that skin wash that we had earlier. So let's make that skin wash again with the oil paints. But we're not going to use Sunny Flesh. We're going to use Light Flesh this time. Actually, I'm not going to use light. I'm going to use whatever it's called, regular flesh. Regular flesh, basic flesh. I'm going to use basic flesh. And we're going to make, so I'm going to swap back to this, right? Actually, I'm going to go. I'll swap to this so you can see it. So we're going to make a little wash here. Okay, that's a pretty good amount. And then we're going to take red, and this is the crazy part. Take a little bit of red, put that in there, just a smidge, and then you don't want that red to be too strong, so you take a little Starship Filth. There you go, a little bit of Starship Filth. And then you mix to taste. That's a pretty nice color. All right. That's a pretty nice color. Now we're just going to keep adding thinner to it. We're going to turn it into a wash. Okay. Mix it all up. Look at that. We get super duper thin. Now you got a super duper thin wash. All right. Any questions or anything so far on our little oil painting extravaganza here? All right. So now, I just want this to be a little bit redder. It's okay. So we're going to apply it kind of liberally here. Yeah, I kind of want it to be a little redder. Or a little bit more red would actually help here. Let's add a little bit of red to this. There we go. A little bit more red. There we go. I just can't get. There you go. Okay. Right here. All right. I want that set up a little bit. I understand that that looks super red. We're going to let that set up a little bit, and then we're going to remove a bunch of it. Right? I really only want it kind of like where skin meets something else. Okay. Right now she looks like she has a crazy sunburn. Right? Let's see. Let's add a little bit here to Siren. All right. And let's give her a little bit of detail in her face. Okay. All right. Now we're gonna clean up the whole shebang-a-bang. Okay. Super quiet evening tonight. All right, so areas that I do not want the red. Literally just taking a little bit of thinner and pulling and, sort of like painting a highlight to get that, to remove that red wash. Welcome back, Sean. So just leaving a little bit of that red there is providing a little bit extra interest in the skin. Right? You've got
Dad?
What's up, buddy?
I accidentally clicked something, but finish the stream first.
Okay. You don't need my help?
Well, I was gonna ask for it, but you're in your stream, so yeah.
What do you need, son?
I don't know what happened, but somehow it just locked me out of the game.
Okay. So you want to go back in?
But I'm trying to.
Okay. Okay, just a sec. I'll get you back in. Alright.
Okay, now I don't.
What are your thoughts on the Riot Quest models? Well, I think they're good models. If I'm being honest with you, the Privateer Press aesthetic never really excited me much. Right? Things always felt a little too exaggerated on the models. I don't know if I don't even know if what I'm telling you is accurate, but it's my perception of the models is they just aesthetically, very few of them ever really ever go, yeah, wow, that's an awesome model. But when they do get me, it's pretty great. Like there was that Bombshell mini that they had a few years ago that was like a convention only model that I was using as a proxy for smoke that I absolutely adored. And then there's the Ret models that I really like. I've always really been a fan of the Retribution models, so those always looked great to me. But a lot of the Riot Quest stuff, with the tiny little, they have like a big shoulder pad and then a little tiny little bicep like this, and then a big old Popeye arm. Those always looked kind of goofy and weird to me. The trolls, I know I'm upsetting some like diehard privateer guys here, but the trolls, they just seem too jolly. I don't know. They just never, like, trolls are the good guys in this universe, and everything had too much bordering on it.
What type of trolls are you talking about?
It never. So privateer stuff in general, rarely got my fancy. So they're real hit or miss. But that said, Riot Quest looks kind of fun. I could probably throw it around for a couple rounds for a little bit, maybe paint a set, see how I really feel about it. I don't know. I'm wondering if I like it better or worse than Aristea. Because Aristea to me kind of fills the same role that Riot Quest would fill. And the Aristea aesthetic is amazing in my book, so I would be really reticent to replace that with a game whose model range I'm not as impressed with. Again, I don't mean to offend privateer fans. It's just, it doesn't grab me the way it may grab you. Okay, let me take a 2-second break, guys, and help my son figure out what's going on with his game.
Well, technically a little
I think
more
than
than 2 seconds.
Okay, technically more than 2 seconds. Okay, I'm gonna mute the microphone here. So talk amongst yourselves about Aristea versus Riot Quest. I'll be right back. Okay. All right, so we're back. Again, we're just kind of messing around here with these oils, but yeah, I hope you guys got something, are getting some information, hopefully good information about working with oils out of this. And this blending here it's really subtle. It's the word I'm going to use. It's very subtle. I don't know what to use as the other color here for Siren. Not sure. Could be black, could be green. Could be just a pure blue. Could be, I don't want it to be white because her hair is white. Could be yellow, could be pink. Yeah. I could try this blue, this Talassar blue. Or I could go much darker, right? I could go with like a really dark turquoise, like pterodon turquoise. Wonder what that would look like. Should we just try it? Let's just try it. All right, we're gonna switch back to water base here for a second. Get a little pterodon turquoise going. This is gonna be interesting. This will make her really look like, like oceanic, I guess, for lack of a better term. Actually, it kind of looks like the same color. And that is weird.
Hey, get away.
It's not bad. It's just two different colors that are almost the same color. I don't know what to say about that. Wow, that's cool looking, kind of. Let's at least make her boots black. It's weird. It is. It's standing out, but in a really weird way. Like picking people's brains. Like I want to like Riot Quest. I really do. I don't. It. The models are okay. That's the thing. The aesthetic to me is just okay. It's not. Oh my gosh, that's so cool. It's just sort of. Oh yeah, that's fun and family friendly. Like that's my reaction to it. Not the, which is the reaction I want to have is whoa, that's amazing. All right. She looks a little too dark almost. Maybe her boots should be brown to match the others. Korra from the last Airbender. I guess. I don't know what that means. What's up, Jason? So yeah. You think uh-oh, what happened here? Uh-oh, that's not good. I think I accidentally did something bad. Okay. Hold on. Yeah, I think I did something bad. I think I accidentally wiped this brush into the into the oil paint. Now this is a problem that you have moving from water to oil back to water. All right. So that beach thing is, the beach base is starting to, or the clear water is starting to dry. But you can't do another, I can't do another thing of clear water until tomorrow. So these models are going to take a little bit of time to paint up. Right, they'll be done, but just doing the bases, the way I did the bases, which is going to call for that clear water. Kind of the same with Warcry. There are teams I said to myself, I don't mind if I got that team for Warcry, it's fine. There should be plenty of people to play Warcry with. GW, people will play. There's always people. GW, I'll play it. It doesn't matter. I don't know. I'm sure you could find somebody, at least at CQ. I know you probably wouldn't be willing to drive out to play Warcry at CQ. But, like, I know Kevin wants to play Warcry. I think Kevin, and you could probably get maybe Aaron to play Warcry with you. If we're talking CQ, the CQ people. But yeah, let's finish color blocking so that, oops. So we could play with oils. on these ladies another day. Right? People need... Wait, I need people in our group that I feel safe with, not the mixed bag of nuts. I don't blame you. I don't blame that kind of thinking at all, frankly. I mean, to me, that's like, I would say 75% of a game, in my opinion. 75% of your ability to enjoy a miniatures game is going to be who you play with. Warcry's okay. You feel like the random scenarios that make it semi-unbalanced. But I don't think you're, in defense of Warcry, I don't think most people are playing Warcry as a, expecting it to be this super balanced game. I've heard people tout that that's one of their favorite things about Warcry, is that it makes no excuses about being a balanced game. It just simply knows what it is, and it can be a fun tactical experience to keep you on your toes because it is so random. Uh-oh. I did not get the whole backside of this model with my Pterodon Turquoise. That's not smart. Yeah, sometimes the deployments. Yeah, because you can't plan for them. You're like, oh, I just get that's my scenario. Those guys start there. Cry. Those guys. Dang it. Yeah, I get that. All right. Yeah. I mean, let's block her out and let's get her. Let's get her to where I can just mess around with oils at some point and finish her the way I've done. Where's that Archelian green? So, as a base coat for the water, I go Archelian green. With fine games, sometimes you just hit those one-off bad combos. Yeah. GW just cannot win with me on aesthetic. I'm just so bored of their shit. Yeah, okay. I get it. Buff guys. Alright, yeah. Yeah. It just, everything to me, I know we've been over this many times, but it just seems, everything GW to me just seems so, generic. It's weird. Weird, I know. Alright. So she's blocked out. So let's do some color blocking here on Hill. Actually has a lot going on with her.
How did I die?
Let's swap back to some decent water base. Oh, wow. Big question from one Spaz. So, a question on something. I was wanting to know your feelings on the 2 Kickstarters from Ninja. Oh, here we go. Oh, here we go. 6 Kickstarters from Ninja, SDE, and Arcade. Do you think we will ever get them? Seeing you got something from them. Yes, I got the Way of the Fighter minis. I showed those off in the last stream. You're just asking me to kind of speculate on whether or not we'll get them. The big question, Lordy, the big question there is will Ninja Division actually piece together enough money to pay what they owe to finish fulfilling the Kickstarter, and then will they even want to when they have the money, right? All we got what I got was nothing new. Okay, it was the Way of the Fighter stuff and the SDE crossover minis were not things that were created in the past year. Okay, those models were made 2 years ago when when hope was a little bit better, and we thought that we might actually see. We thought that there was a real chance of the Kickstarter fulfilling. The thing is, what Ninja Division has been doing since then is they have been running these one-off models, like they call them master class. They do all this other stuff. You do this, buy this new, and they keep making these one-off runs because from a capital standpoint, they can do that, right? They can order one run of models and then have customers purchase those models. They can make a teeny tiny little profit out of it, right? Instead of the hundreds of models that they're supposed to make on, what is it, four or five Kickstarters that they have not fulfilled on. Okay, so really all we got was stuff that was already made, and the company that produced them for Ninja Division was really just waiting to get paid. So what they did was all they've done so far is they took the money that they made from Masterclass, the profits that they rolled out of Masterclass, and they paid off the company that was making the Way of the Fighter minis, and it was able to purchase that lot of Way of the Fighter miniatures, which again were already made. They were already printed. So, so your question is, when are they going to turn the machine back on? Because that's what they need to do. They need to turn the machine back on such that they're actually going to be able to make new miniatures, because they haven't made miniatures to fulfill Relic Knights. They haven't made the miniatures required to fulfill SDE. They haven't made the miniatures required to fulfill Starfinder. And they've only made half the miniatures required to fulfill Way of the Fighter. Okay? So, again, everything that we got is 2 years old. And, it's going to be, how many times can they nickel and dime the Masterclass to make the almost, $1 million that they owe for SDE and RK combined, right? It's almost like $750,000 that they owe in order to finish fulfilling the rest of the Kickstarters. That's according to public records that they had to supply. They are about $750,000 short of being able to fulfill those Kickstarters. So we're asking them to make more than $750,000 profit off of Masterclass. Okay? So we're asking them to, it's almost like, you have to travel 200 miles and the only thing you have is a skateboard. Yeah, you're 20, 30, or maybe when you're 100. Maybe, yeah. I mean, the only thing that could happen, really, for them to be able to fulfill would be either one of the two guys left wins the lottery, okay, or some other company who's maybe not the brightest in the world decides to acquire Ninja Division, and then they can pay off that debt immediately, and then then they can turn the machine back on, start making money off of Ninja Division's IP. Or we do the long trudge, which is the most likely scenario. We do the long trudge down Masterclass, Ninja Division doesn't starve to death or flee the country first, and we get the Kickstarters around 2030. I would say 20, probably 2030 is actually pretty realistic if we're going down that route. Sorry. That actually does not sound like a terrible estimate. So yeah, that's. But again, just bear in mind, I'm no expert on this. This is all just based on wild speculation and the little bits and tidbits of information we got during this whole ordeal. I just it's extremely, I would call it extremely unlikely that we see anything meaningful from Ninja Division regarding the RK or SDE Kickstarters, right? I don't even know if they are gonna turn on the machine to make the rest of the Way of the Fighter minis, right? They still owe 10 more minis from Way of the Fighter, and I don't think it's there's no profit at all for them to do that. There's no profit. There's no incentive for them to do that, to turn it back on. Because why would they pay a company to print new models off of a Kickstarter that did not make much money? Way of the Fighter made like $90,000 or something, like really low. So I don't know. Why would they even do that? If they're going to do SDE or Relic Knights, they'd have to, we're talking about, shoring up hundreds and thousands of dollars, and they're not going to be able to do that off Masterclass. Not anytime soon, anyway. So, yeah. So, I am extremely pessimistic about them being able to deliver anything beyond what I already got. I feel so bad for the guy that designed Way of the Fighter, because it's a pretty damn good game. It really is. It's a lot of fun. But now, because because he got in with Ninja and they produced his game is DOA. Because the people who backed the Kickstarter just are, now so upset with Ninja that it's not like I'm going to go out and promote the game. Hey, everybody go play Way of the Fighter. Right? Ninja Division has not put together a cohesive plan for how they're going to get back in the game and how they're going to get back in quickly. They just know how to make these little nickel and dime, print out a collector's edition SDE chibi thing. Right now they're milking all that Star Wars stuff, so they're basically hoping those Star Wars chibis sell. And I don't know. I don't know what they're right. Like, oh, they made a Chewbacca and a Princess Leia chibi. How many people are like, oh my god, that's my life? Now I make fun of Star Wars fans left and right, and their ability to just throw money at anything resembling Star Wars. Okay, so I know that there are people out there that will do it, but are there enough people out there? Right? Do they have enough money in their marketing, with their marketing muscle, to do that? Do they have backup a stack? Are they even going to be able to get their volunteers, the Ninja Corps Senpai thing? Are they going to be able to get those people to promote enough to actually get it to sell? No. I don't know. I really, really wish I could be more positive about it, but I can't. I can't. I'm not going to blow sunshine up people's asses over Ninja Division. because there's a great deal of shame from me as someone who promoted them so hard. There's a great deal of shame there. A lot of my friends jumped in on these Kickstarters because I was so hype about the stuff, and I'm like, oh, Forgotten King was delivered extremely well. That's their one and only Kickstarter that actually I felt that they actually fulfilled and did everything right. And Ninja All Stars, it was a little bit late. It wasn't too bad. It was about 6 months late. That's about average for a miniature game Kickstarter. Too bad the game sucked. So that's what happened with that one. And then all these other and meanwhile, while these are all coming out, right? That gave me Forgotten King gave me good faith to back more Ninja Division stuff and promote more of their stuff, because Forgotten King was a fantastic Kickstarter. Okay, it launched on time. It was very well done. You got like the component pieces and everything were fantastic for it. It was great. It was just a great Kickstarter. I don't give a F about, $300. Okay, Sean Angry. I don't give a F about those models. Where's my Relic Knights? I'm charging interest now. Good luck with that one, Sean. If you can get them to pay interest, I will be very impressed if you can, sir. Yeah, I don't know, man. Relic Knights is a distant second behind SDE, behind Starfinder, because those two Kickstarters raised way more money, and to make the components for Relic Knights is going to be way harder than it is for those other two games. I mean, just think about those gigantic resin knights that we all ordered, right? Those are big old multi-component resin pieces. Like, that's not easy to put together, whereas Chibi is way easier to put together. Except they're making Chibi in resin and calling it Masterclass, which is a crock of shit. Okay? Chibi models are just fine. Like, the detail comes out just fine in their PVC. In fact, I would praise Ninja Division for actually having good single piece PVC miniatures for SDE. Right? Go back, look at your Forgotten King shit. That stuff is awesome. Look at some of the stuff for Ninja All Stars. That stuff is awesome. Right? It's well done. And they didn't have to use this bullshit resin to get there. They got good detail out of it. It's chibi, and it looks fine. So going to resin doesn't suddenly, masterclass. Like, it's not. Those minis aren't significantly better than the single sculpt PVC that they got at Forgotten King. They're better than what you got out of the first, Relic Knights, the 1.0. I'll give them that. It's better than that, but not by much. I mean, I could show you guys some examples of their Masterclass resin versus, the last good Kickstarters that they put out. And I'm not going to see... You're not going to see like a gigantic uptick in quality, at least from where I'm sitting. Let's see. If I could, I would still love SDE. SDE, I know, because SDE is still a very fun game. It's still, at its heart, it's a super fun little arcade chibi game. It knew what it was. Right? It just plays silly, and me and my son will play it and it's, for what it is, it's good. My son and I can still play Rail Raiders. Which is a garbage game if you're an adult. If you play Rail Raiders with a bunch of adults, that's, break out Monopoly, break out Pictionary. just do that. But yeah, SDE though, very fun, and so many people. Like I said, with SDE, I have run no fewer than, we'll say, 100, possibly 200 demos of SDE. I've run, like good old 15 to 30-minute demos in all the conventions. That was me. That's what I did. I ran SDE over and over and over again. And it was good times, right? So many people liked SDE and liked playing with Chibi and thought it was super cool. And I used to sell painted sets of SDE at the conventions, right? It was actually a pretty nice little side gig for me because I could get, I would always bring two painted copies of SDE with me to a convention. People would play demo. Somebody would be so hyped to get it and to paint it. What they would do is they would buy the box set. They would buy that box set, and then they'd come back to me at the demo table, and they'd go, "Hey, dude, you said you did, commission painting. How much would you charge me to paint my whole SDE set?" And they would have the SDE Season 1 set, right? And I go, "Well, I'm going to charge you this much. It's going to take this many weeks, or you pay me this much, you give me your unpainted models, and you walk away with one of my sets." Right? I used to do that all the time at the conventions, and there was always one. So just doing that, I made pretty good money over a weekend doing conventions. Just like here, I sold one SDE set. Then all I had to do when I got home, in between shows, is I would paint another set of SDE, the one that guy gave me, right? I'd paint it, take me 4 to 5 days worth of painting. So I'd paint that, and then be ready for the next show. I'd have another set ready to go, ready to sell. And I did that, and actually, was able to keep the convention circuit, somewhat profitable, if not cost neutral. In other words, if I had to pay for a hotel or something like that, had it covered. So, good stuff, man. All right. Little Angel's so cool. Oh, man. Ninja Division. I really did like those guys. I really did, I was friends with those guys. We'll go have drinks with those guys. I did a lot of shows with them. And, I was very, very loyal. But when it came down to it, of course I'm going to, protect my players. I'm going to protect the people that play games with me and invest in games that I want to play. I still want to paint that stuff I got. I don't want to stream it so that we can talk, but I don't want to, but I don't know. I'm just going to have to make these crazy, I'm just going to have to make these like crazy disclaimers. Like, no, I'm not endorsing anything that this company does. That's how that's gonna have to be.
Hey, Dad.
What's up?
Guess what?
What?
Dad,
Yeah?
I managed to actually get, somehow it was just, there's just, turns out you actually are able to get into the reef. It's just you have to click something a little different.
Okay.
So yeah, I'm in the reef now.
You didn't buy anything, did you? Hopefully you didn't.
What do you say?
You didn't have to buy anything, did you?
No, I didn't.
Okay. My kid is playing his game on Steam. Hopefully he didn't need.
If you don't like it, that's fine. The barracudas look so bad in this
I
game.
know we don't like. Thanks, Sean.
What happened?
Huh? Alright.
Uno vivos.
So color scheme may not be the most exciting thing in the world for these models, but cool nonetheless. I guess I could make that center part of the corset kind of like Siren, right? Bittersweet times. Oh yeah. We get her all color. We get her all color blocked. All right. But yeah. Okay. I hope that answered your question about Ninja Division. Dirty Ninja Division. Angel just standing out in the middle of the tide pool here. I feel like I gotta fix something with her eye. That eye's just weird. Oh. I think that's why we all look at gaming companies super carefully now.
There are sea oceans in the game?
Yeah, that's right, Sean. We have to. Where is?
That must be a new update, because I've never seen sea oceans in the videos.
I'm gonna try to fix Angel's. Angel's got a weird bug eye. I'm gonna try to fix it. And tomorrow I have a giant 4-hour meeting in the morning from 8 to noon. It's gonna be brutal. Looks a little bit better. my sad question is, why do the good games have to die before the bad or the mediocre ones? Ooh. You want my honest answer to that? Honestly? It's because I feel like the gaming community has Stockholm syndrome. You know, my honest answer is that, and I've been saying this for a long time actually, so this shouldn't be too controversial. But gamers are like, what gamers say they want and what they actually want based on their spending habits are two very different things. Right? I just put it to you that way. If, right, it's sort of like, I'm I'll say it, I don't care. Right? It's like my wife and I always have this conversation, right? The 20-year-old girls. I'm not talking about like, the more mature, the girls that have, Anyways, what they'll say is, I just want a nice guy. Right? Just give me a nice guy, right? They don't want a nice guy, right? They at that age, they want a dangerous guy, right? My wife and I talk about this all the time with, some of her students that are like high school and college students. And, my wife will always say, well, she's so nice. She's such a sweet girl, but all those guys that she dates are trash. And all she ever says is, I want a nice guy. I don't understand. I'm like, do you remember when you were 20? Right? Did you like nice guys? You said you did, but did you? Right? And no, they didn't. Like, it's same with gamers. Gamers are always like, I want to spend less money on a game. I don't want to paint army after army of the same thing. I'm tired of the codexes. I'm tired of the price hikes. I want to play something new, something good, right? We've heard them all say it. We've heard them all say it. And what do? Oh, another edition of 40K. Here we go. Right? It's going to be different this time, guys. Every time. It's going to be different. This time it's different, guys. And GW is not to blame. GW has come out and said, hey, we're a miniature making company. We're not here to make you the most balanced game. We're not here to... We're also a company. We're here to make money. We're here to make profits. We need you to buy the models, right? They're at least upfront about what they want. They're upfront about what they want from you. We want you to pay us money. We want you to pay us more money. We're going to make the same damn models we made before, and you're still going to buy them. That's how gangster GW is. GW will straight up tell you, oh, it's not our fault. The game is in balance. We don't care. Right? We do not care if our game is balanced. We want you to buy miniatures. They justified codex creep, guys. To your face. To your face, they said, yeah, codex creep, yeah, it's real. Because we're here to sell models. And people are like, okay. Right? Okay. And and the price hikes, straight up just say, we have to increase the cost of our products. And everybody stunk. Everybody got mad. You remember how it goes. Everybody got upset. Mini Wargaming put out that stupid video, an open letter to Games Workshop. And everybody cried and they held each other. And it was so sad and touching. And we're going to make it through it, guys. Here, we'll show GW. We'll show them who's boss. And we bought more shit from GW. So that is why good games live forever. It's because We're dumb and we're bad and we're stuck in these habits and we can't get out of it. And the few of us that do go out and go, hey, there's a game called Guild Ball and it's cheap and you don't need much and it's a well-designed game and they pay attention to what we say. They update, they do errata regularly based on actual tournament data. This is actually, like, this game is the best, most balanced, most, competitive, tight ruled game set out there. Cheap to get in, right? Fairly cheap to collect. Very convenient. Everything we said we wanted in a game. And what happened? Well, some people really like the game. Myself included. I really like the game. We promoted the hell out of it. But everything as gamers, as hyper neurotic, obsessive, going to spend weeks on end theory crafting, figuring everything out, working the ins and out of our games, we let that game fulfill our every desire. And unfortunately, that meant that new players were not going to have a good experience playing the game against us. They were not going to have a good time playing against us. They were not going to invest in product to play against us. Now, that is not the principal reason, though, why Guild Ball didn't do well. So I'm not going to be like a Steamforged and attack the community. The fact of the matter is, Steamforged made critical mistakes in their manufacturing processes. They killed metal before they should have. They bet the farm on resin, on PVC plastic, which they, encountered every mistake known to man trying to get it to happen for Guild Ball. And by the time they fixed it, they were already in the God tier and they were doing it well in God tier. Okay? So, there's two parts to it. Steamforged is mainly Steamforged's fault. Ninja Division, mainly Ninja Division's fault. But if you're talking about CMON, there you go. Another good example of a game that was well built, well put together, cheap cost of entry, good slick design, right? Everything we said we wanted in a miniatures game. Now, it cuts both ways. If the gamers actually acknowledge or recognize that this is everything we wanted in a game, then why didn't all those people mad about GW price hikes, mad about codex creep, mad about having to buy the same model over and over again, and then openly being treated like shit by GW, why didn't all those people jump ship and go, you know what? Wrath of Kings is a great game. Let's play some Wrath of Kings, right? There are 1,000 reasons why. Oh, I'm too invested in 40K. I've been playing this for years. Oh, I don't want to build a new player group. I don't want to promote anything. I don't have time anymore. I only can play a game once a month. And I can guarantee find people playing GW. Now imagine if all of these people let go of all of those excuses and they took a chance. Right? They actually grew a pair. I'm going to quote Privateer. They actually put on their big boy pants and said, no, I'm not taking this from GW. I'm going to get up and go and play something that I enjoyed. If more people did that, then maybe GW would actually, give a damn about what their customers did. And again, another thing to bring up here is they actually did. GW did actually have to change their tune. Do you remember when they got rid of all of their specialist games and it was, you have to play 40K and we're going to grimdark 40K even more. And then everyone started playing X-Wing. Remember that? People were like, X-Wing. All right, let's go play X-Wing. Well, that got GW's attention. They're like, oh shit, X-Wing is creeping up. People want to be playing X-Wing. Oh damn. Well, we had better make our products a little more convenient. We had better bring back some of these specialist games. we had better do some of the stuff that then right then the ears open. The wallet's closed and the ears open. That's how it works, people. That's how it works. Let's see. I feel like we're talking about a crazy XSGW comeback and Gigolo promising you good time. Yeah. But I mean that's a fact, right? But you have to realize too that even in this utopia, there's just so many problems. Even in this utopia where we all start promoting these games that are great games that are low cost of entry and all that kind of stuff. Now you have the other problem the money needs to keep flowing into those stores. The money needs to keep flowing into those shops. So now those companies that start becoming successful, and I'm talking about Weird Miniatures, I'm talking about Corvus Belli, Privateer Press, now the onus is on them to keep a steady stream of releases coming. Fantasy Flight has been able to do it well. They can keep releases coming. Corvus Belli does a decent job for a company located in Spain, which is very difficult to keep stuff on shelves. Steamforged, we already covered them. They shot themselves in the face the minute they got successful. And then, Weird Miniatures. Weird Miniatures, you have to praise them for doing a lot of smart things. They didn't mess around with PVC. Everybody else was like, PVC is the way to go. Resin is the way to go. They didn't F with any of that. They're like, we're going straight to hard plastic, right? They figured it out. They went to War Games Factory. They figured it out. And they said, we're going hard plastic. And that's not to say it wasn't the most seamless transition, because they had scaling issues. They had problems when they first went to hard plastic. Those problems, though, are like kindergarten problems compared to what everybody else faced when they went to PVC or to resin. So, yeah, Weird Miniatures had some. They had some scaling issues. At the forefront, they did have some fulfillment issues, right? But once they got over that hump, and they did it spectacularly. They got over the hump. They fought a player base, myself included here, that hated M2E when that thing launched. They got over that hump. They got themselves a new player base. Well, actually, let's be specific here. They didn't get themselves a new player base, actually. That's the weird thing about Malifaux Weird Miniatures. They didn't get themselves a new player base. What they got was a new customer base. Okay, and I make that distinction because at the time they went hard plastic, and which is even true of today. There are, in my estimation, there are a lot of people that paint and collect Malifaux, but don't really play it. Does that make sense? It's kind of like Kingdom Death. People buy tons and tons of Kingdom Death. Oh, the new pinups came out. More Kingdom Death. Buy more Kingdom. And they buy Kingdom Death. But very few of those people play Kingdom Death. They paint it, and they love painting it. I love painting Kingdom Death. It's awesome. But I owned Kingdom Death 1.5 Monster, and I painted a lot of it, and then decided I would never play that. Right? So Weird Miniatures did something kind of cool. They said, we're going to hard plastic. And as it turned out, that Malifaux aesthetic is so awesome. It is so one of a kind. It is so unique. Even when I hated M2E, I still painted a lot of M2E. And I mean a lot of M2E. I painted lots of it. And I would throw it up on eBay. Paint a set, throw it up on eBay. Here you go. Who wants this? And people, oh, it's great. I don't know if any of them play it, but they were buying it because it looks cool, right? Candy and Cade stuff looks cool. Steampunk zombie samurais and Weird West people, they love that. They don't know what they're gonna eat. Some of them play the game, some of them don't. But the fact is, Weird got a customer base. And so M3 is fun. I still buy models for M3, but I haven't played it in a while. I still want to play it. I still want to shuffle them cards, man, and flip. But even if I didn't like M3E, I would still buy it to paint. So, oh man, what else am I gonna do here? Just making sure I've got her all ready to roll. Actually, I gotta do a couple things. Yeah, we'll get back to playing Malifaux. There's no doubt in my mind. It's just a matter of when am I going to have more than, the odd hour or so. Are you off tomorrow, Sean? Because I have a solid 8 to. How can I do? I have a solid 8 to 12, and then I have a gap before I have a late meeting, but that's it. All right, so let's do that, and let's do where's the Griff Tractor Gray? But we'll get this ready for. So we're gonna do oil painting on the other two. And then, yeah. Okay. Get all this together. The details on Angel are so small. Oil painting
aren't even grow that big.
It's really not gonna do much. But we'll finish him up. We'll finish him up in the next day or two. All right. Okay. So I'm just going to paint in this little sleeve right here. And yeah, she'll be color blocked. She's good to go. You just have to do last little bits of detail on her. A unique aesthetic or sculpt IP is important to grab the collectors versus the gamers and have long-term success. But yeah, I mean, that's a great point. What I think is these games are like Batman, for example. It's another game that's got legs because people are, whether or not they play it, right? Not many people played Batman Second Edition First Edition, as far as I could tell. Not many people played First Edition, but people started buying it up because it's Batman. They wanted Batman miniatures. They wanted Knight models, right? So even if people don't play your game, what ultimately matters is that they buy the pieces for it, right? That's what matters. And so, rules design is, it's pretty low on the list. Game balance, very low on the list of what, if we were to look at factors for a successful miniatures game.
Why is it not working?
Right? So.
Did it break again?
I don't know, son.
I'm touching the space bar, but it won't let me come back to life. I got killed by a giant bird.
You don't have enough points to spawn the selected fish.
Yeah.
You have to go out and buy yourself a cheaper fish. All right,
Really
All right. So with that, so you can see. Oh, I wanted to show you guys this before we sign off here. So here's Windfinder, and you can see that it did dry clear, right? I'm not lying. It did dry clear. I'm going to let this dry tomorrow, and then I'm going to put another layer of water there. So, all right. So there's Windfinder. Like her a lot. Very fun model. Geez, these models are super fun. You can see. These are all like the limited sculpt navigators. Well, those two are actually fisherman players, but they are you're supposed to play those with the navigators team. So, anyways, yeah, that's gonna do it for this video. I want to thank everyone for watching. Have a good night, guys, and we'll catch you on the next one.